Hello, EVMS students and staff. This is Brooklyn Lucille McGee. I'm in 8th grade, which means that next year I'm not going to be there at EVMS. I'm going to the high school. I'm going to be a freshman. It is a huge leap, especially due to COVID-19. I want to thank everyone at the school who have helped me over the years, and even if you haven't, you've contributed to my life in some way or another. Thank you so much for everything you've done for not only me, but all of my class. You've made an impact on us, whether we will admit it or not. I would like to acknowledge a few teachers, some who might not even be at the school anymore, but I'd still like to acknowledge them. The first person I would like to acknowledge is Mr. Smith. He teaches 6th and 7th English. I was his TA this year. I have been in his first period class every single year for English, except for this year I was his English TA. When I first walked into his class, I hated English. I couldn't stand it. But Mr. Smith taught it in a new way that made me appreciate it and really enjoy it, to the point where it's a great coping thing for me now, and I write books constantly. It means a lot to me that I finally found something that I love to do besides theater. Another teacher I'd like to acknowledge is Mr. Haggin. He was my 6th grade science teacher. It was amazing. He was so much fun. He made the class laugh. He was always very understanding for all of the students. And he would let us have a snack in 6th grade. And I had him for 6 periods, so it was pretty cool. Another teacher I would like to acknowledge is Mr. Myrene. He was my 6th grade teacher. He is probably the best math teacher I've ever had. He's like tied with Miss Cable, which I'll get to in a minute. He was amazing. He made math fun. He told us random stories that helped us and made math interesting. Still, math was hard though. Another teacher, well, he used to be our dean, was Mr. Maiello. I called him Marshmallow just because I knew him in elementary. He was a great impact for me. Another person I would like to acknowledge is our nurse. I personally know her, which is probably why I'm acknowledging her, because she's amazing. But after my surgery, my throat surgery, she let me go into there for lunch and just rest. And she, no matter what I came in there for, it was amazing to see her. Now for some of my 7th grade teachers. Miss Chandler was amazing. She made science fun while still being interesting and educational. Another teacher, I forgot Miss Talhelm, amazing teacher, loved her. Another teacher that I had in 7th grade was, Mr. Smith again. He was amazing in 7th grade too. He actually had us do this weird book report thing in a way. We had to list what we would do and what's a slide presentation and where we would go. I thought it was super fun, but very nerve-wracking when we had to present it to the class. For 8th grade, some of my huge teachers that have been there for me is Miss Cable, 100%. She made math fun, interesting, and even though she had to go on maternity leave, it almost felt like she never left. She left for a bit and she came back early. She helped us learn things. If we needed to go in for lunch to get help, she talked to us. If she noticed we were down, she would talk to us and we'd feel safe around her, which is amazing that we had a teacher like that. Another teacher in my 8th grade year was Miss Rispin. She was amazing. She made science fun, interesting, and gave us little extra credit projects that I absolutely loved because I could record myself talking to a camera. It was very fun and educational all at the same time. Another teacher is my only other English teacher in all of middle school was Miss McMillan. She made it fun. She even had us read books, and she would let me read ahead, which was kind of a habit. After that, she also lent me some books to read because she knew I loved reading. It was an amazing teacher. My next person I would like to acknowledge is Miss Witter. She was amazing. She helped just like Miss Cable did. She did go on maternity leave, unfortunately, during COVID, but we had a great sub, Mr. Greenlee, who also ended up subbing for Miss Cable. But I like to also acknowledge him. He was amazing. He made it interesting. He joked around with us, and he didn't terrify me. So that was good. And my final acknowledgement is actually, it's not my final acknowledgement. I have two more. So this one is my sixth period teacher. She was Miss Tucker, who made multimedia news extremely fun, even though the class was always stressful and crazy. Just kind of true. Another person I like to acknowledge is Dr. Molden, who was amazing. Some people thought she was strict. I thought that her strictness made the school a better place. Another person I'd like to acknowledge, well, actually it's two, but in one, Miss Schofield and Miss Mathis. They were almost like both my counselors, even though Miss Mathis was my main counselor. It was amazing. I knew I could count on them if I needed them. When school got really rough, they would let me go and eat lunch in there just to get away from all the kids and just breathe, which was amazing. Thank you guys so much. And my final acknowledgement is Mr. Conley, also known as Dr. Conley. I was thrilled to join your school when I first came here. It was life-changing for me. When I went in, I sort of knew Dr. Conley, and I ran up to him and gave him a huge hug, and I was like, I'm so excited to be in your school. And it was just amazing. So when we had any like fundraisers, I'd like to join in. Speaking of some of the fundraisers, one of the really fun things I got to do was the canned food drive. I placed almost every year except for 7th grade. And I placed second in 8th grade. And I believe second or third in 6th grade. Now I'm going to give you incoming 8th graders some advice. And trust me, you should take it. If your teacher gives you any opportunity for help or extra credit, take it. Trust me. If you don't take it, you're going to regret it later. You're going to have something that you might not understand later on. But the great part about that is all of your teachers are going to say, come in at lunch, talk to me. I'm here for you to help you. Another thing, please be respectful to all of your teachers. I know you might not always like them, or you might think, oh, they're strict, they don't like me. They do. You are an amazing kid, and they're loving to come to work at EVMS. Because if they didn't, they wouldn't be there at EVMS. Remember, try and be respectful. And I know you're the upperclassmen now. You're the big kids. You're tough. But you are also a huge role model, and I know you hear this every single year. You're a role model for the kids younger. And you think, no, I'm not. You are. When 7th graders or 6th graders are going to watch you, they're going to think, oh, that's how you treat people. Oh, that's good. Remember, be the role models. Try and not get in fights. It doesn't do any good. Another advice thing. Try and stay away from drama. I know it's hard, trust me. But in the end of the day, that drama It's not even relevant at the end of the year. You could have gotten in a fight with your best friend a month ago and you guys aren't talking. You guys are in middle school, guys. Have fun. Enjoy it. Because when we go into when you are in 8th grade, it gets harder. Your work assignments are harder. Your teachers are stricter, and you need to listen to them. They will give you every opportunity they can to help you. They have their doors open all the time at lunch. When I say their door is open, I mean it's literally open all hours of school. And sometimes even after or before. It's up to you to walk in and take the opportunity. Their door is open. It's up to you to keep walking. A huge thing that I learned in middle school is what might seem big then could be bigger later, or it could be even teenier. Another thing is life keeps moving. You just got to keep moving. Don't get stuck in the same chapter of your life, because there's other pages to fill and other chapters to read. Now, I hope you guys all enjoy this little clip of EVMS.